Okay, another material that Charles and Ray Eames were really good at and was used effectively, still is used being effectively with the Herman Miller line of furniture, office furniture, is aluminum. And we see aluminum pieces here. The side rails, armrests are aluminum, as well as the seat base and the wheels down here. But instead of doing a square, what you'll notice that this is more of a circular motion down here. And what we're going to do to set that up, again, back to your sketch pad, separate your page into half. We'll take the top and the bottom. The top here, we'll put our chair. And but because of this fact that we now have, we don't have that square post anymore, or the cube. We still have the cube in terms of where the seat base is going to be, but in terms of where this circular motion now, it's going to start with a circle. So what the idea would be, we have to understand that the bottom is going to be a circle. Here's the center, and I've got 5 posts that come out like this. Okay, so we're going to take these five arms, and we're going to organize those. We're going to say, well, here's one here, one here. We'll put one here, here, and here. So there's 5. So we have these 5 spokes. And the fun thing about industrial design sketching also is you write your notes on your sketchbook, okay? So then our wheels will be out here like this. So looking down on it, you have these 5 spokes, okay? Now to put that into perspective, so we can make a 3/4 drawing like we're gonna do, we're just gonna basically make an ellipse down here. That's our circle, it's basically tilted. And we're just going to project these pieces down like this. So here's our center. So to put this in a relation with an ellipse, our spoke goes here, and goes out to there. And we have that one in the back that way. See, so when we put it in perspective, that's still the spoke, 5 spokes, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. But because we tilted it at an angle, it becomes an ellipse, from a circle to an ellipse, and that's how you project it. So we put our seat over here. Okay, we're going to put make our basic, this cube we've been working with, maybe a little taller. Okay, there's our seat back in here someplace. Okay, we'll do this. Make it a little bit taller, okay? But instead of the cube at the bottom, our 4 posts, we need 5. So we're gonna make that into a circle down here at the bottom. Okay, and there's our center of that circle. Okay, so then our post, let's put a center line to here, one to here, one to there, and one like that, okay? And then we have one in the back that we don't quite see, okay? So then we look at these posts. Again, these are aluminum spokes, and they're cast. And what that means is that these parts were put into a mold, and molten hot aluminum was poured into that casting. These are called cast parts. You're casting aluminum, okay? And that's how you get these really interesting shapes in aluminum. And then what you do is you clean up the aluminum, and you buff it and you polish it, or you can anodize it with a color. Okay. So those are our spokes, and we got one back there, okay? Those are our basic spokes, okay? And the base of the spoke, the bottom, you've got our casters, our black casters go down here. Okay, we can just draw circles. You see how the spoke goes from thin to thick? That provides structure. Okay, and then as we come up the center line of our spokes, we have the base of the aluminum does this, okay? And on top of that, we have the piston, or this cylinder that goes up and down. This part here that goes up and down, that's the cylinder. That cylinder And that piston, the hydraulics, is what makes the seat go up and down. Again, it's a piece of office furniture. And we have a mechanism or structure up in here. And the fun thing about industrial design sketching specifically is that you actually sort of sketch it out, all the bits and pieces to it. This comes out to looks like the knob that basically interacts with this part here that enables this to go up and down. We have it's inside of a post that has brackets that go up like this. And that holds the seat base. And we'll just take this. And we're still drawing fairly light. Our seat back. This is that part of that ergonomics we talked about earlier about making things comfortable. This becomes sort of works with the contour of your back. This hits the lower part of your back, called a lumbar. We call that a lumbar support. And we'll just do this. Okay, and that's our seat back. And we'll put this in lightly. And about halfway up here, we're going to see these armrests, these aluminum armrests. So we're going to try and keep those bright and shiny, not put too much ink on those. Let's go here, and we got another one over here. Kind of does this, cross this over. Okay, this goes through here. This outside piece becomes the bottom of this. Okay. There. So we have our armrests. We have our aluminum armrests, our bright aluminum base here with the spokes that are the structure for the casters. We have our mechanism down here, and of course we have our seat itself. And this is the outline of it. Okay, but we also see these tufts. This section does this, so we have these little tufts in here. Like this. And at the edges, we'll see how these have a little bit of a curvature to them. There's a little bit of some detail work. And we can even color that edge in just a little bit. Okay, give it some thickness. But we can just make it a little bit darker. As we go back in with our line work, we go from the thin lines, the light thin lines, to a little darker line. Makes it a little more dramatic. Get that contrast in. And because, so that's basically our seat. Again, our rules of converging these lines to one point all work. The base becomes this ellipse. Here's our square, the base. And that's our chair. Now we can go back in with a little bit of some contrast. Again, the light source is this way. So we can, a little bit underneath the bottom of the seat, or the armchair, I should say. Can have a little bit of a shadow to it. Okay. I wouldn't put too much on the aluminum because we want that to look kind of nice bright. Okay. The mechanism is black. So we can actually cross-hatch in part of the structure. Okay. There's this knob out here that controls the height. Again, the idea that this is a working, functional, seat, office seat. But we can go ahead and actually just a nice even cross-hatching here, we can actually put in, and you can actually just sort of double it up like this a little bit. We can go back in and just make the seat leather a little darker. And it gets a little darker in this area because it's turned down away from the light source. Does something like this. Actually, a little bit of reflection to it does this. Kind of interesting. And we just go back in and define our pieces, some of the details just a little bit. But I think this works pretty good as a quick sketch. Oh, these are casters are black. Just kind of just a little bit there, and you might see the other caster. Oh, you probably don't, but that's, yeah, that pretty much works, and that's pretty much close to the way our drawing came out. Okay, so again, just keep working on that, and hope this works for you, and we'll get to the next seat.